Apologies for the delay in this video. I just wanted to make absolutely sure that with the 5 o'clock update, the track didn't shift one way or the other. Now, in yesterday's video, I had mentioned that the U.S. Navy had put Naval Air Station Pensacola on a higher level of alert, which was really strange given that the hurricane was forecast at that time to make landfall nearly 800 miles away. That wouldn't even put it in the outer bands, so I was wondering if they were seeing something that other civilian forecasters were not seeing. Apparently, the civilian forecasters got this one right, and it did go over the Yucatan, and it is starting its northward turn. Part of me kind of wished that the Navy was right, because Lake Charles, Louisiana, doesn't need another hurricane landfall. They just got done with Hurricane Laura, and there's still things that haven't been fixed since then. Florida hasn't been hit by a hurricane in a long time, and not that I would ever wish bad on anyone, but if it could have landed anywhere, this is the absolute wrong place for it to land. Jennifer, Veterans for Truth, the YouTuber, Jennifer LaFontaine is the name of her channel now. That's where she lives, and they had to, last time, flee 2 hours north to get out of the path of Hurricane Laura, and now just as soon as things get back to normal, they have to do this, and this is where they're making a prediction for landfall. Literally, a tiny town just directly south of Lake Charles is where they're saying this is going to hit. The eye wall has now moved north, as you can see, off of the Yucatan Peninsula. It's a Category 1, forecasted to grow to a Category 3, but then only make landfall as a 2, which, given what the other options were, is a lot better. So, anyway, if anything changes, I'm sure the news will be the first to let you know. I will keep an eye on it, but virtually everybody is in unison on this as far as the spaghetti models. Here's Lake Charles right here. And as you can see, this is exactly where it's going to come ashore. So once again, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Now, in other news, tonight, of course, is the big vice presidential debate. It is literally going to be the opposite, I believe, of the presidential debate, in the sense both of these people are trained, licensed attorneys, have been doing this quite a while. I would probably give the edge to Mike Pence, just on experience because of age. There was an old saying some time ago that the Senate of the United States is the cool pot from which the hot tea of the House of Representatives is poured. Meaning, of course, that, once things get hashed out in the House of Representatives and get done as far as the work on laws, it goes to the Senate where cooler heads should prevail. Now, I'm not sure if in the modern climate that would be appropriate to say, but if you could describe Mike Pence as anything, it would be that cool pot. No matter how inflammatory or upset or angry or heated the argument gets, I have never seen this man lose his cool. I've never seen him react emotionally. He is a master debater. Absolutely. He is one of the finest, and if she's going to try to play the let's get everybody all emotional and cranked up over social issues game, she's going to get clobbered. But she's a trained attorney too, so she might know this. So this is going to be an intellectuals debate. If you're the type that leans more to your thought life than your emotional life, this is going to be something for you to watch. I really did, going live during the debate, but once again, I think it's going to be something where we have to watch, we have to listen, we have to digest, we have to absorb, do some research, think about it again, and then speak. Going live during these kind of lends itself to emotional reactions because you're just reacting in the moment to what was said without thinking about it and maybe without all the information. So that's why I kind of lean against doing lives on anything. Just because it does. It lends itself to emotional reactions. So, and on that topic, let me zoom this out just a little bit. For those getting emotional about the upcoming election and saying, oh my gosh, what if Trump loses? Oh, all of these polls say Biden's winning. Even if you give the states that Hillary Clinton won to Biden, just say, okay, Mr. Biden, you can have them. That still gives Mr. Trump 306 electoral votes. What does that mean? He's got 36 to give, 35 technically, 35 votes to give. So, for example, with this map, he could lose both Wisconsin and Ohio and still win the election, giving every other state that Hillary won to Biden and still win the election. You could flip Wisconsin and Michigan. You could flip Michigan and Ohio. Two of any of those three you could give away. This is why Florida is the big deal, and I guarantee Florida does not go for Biden. There is absolutely, I live here, trust me. There is absolutely no way the state of Florida is voting for Joe Biden. It's just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. And that's what this is really all about, because it boils down to Florida because of the 29 electoral votes. So you could, like I said, you could give Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, all to Biden, Trump still wins. Two of any of those three, Wisconsin, Michigan, or Ohio, even if you want to add North Carolina in there. North Carolina and Michigan, Trump still wins. North Carolina and Ohio, Trump still wins. He won with 306 electoral votes. He has 35 to give. He has to have at least 271 or 270 to win. So 36 votes. And believe me, all of the states that Hillary took are not guarantees, especially New Mexico, Colorado, and Nevada. If Biden screws up any of those, it's over. It's over. It would be virtually impossible for Biden to win. And they know this because they control so few states. You should see the map of Indiana where when Pence won and the seat. I mean, it was his opponent, his Democratic opponent won like 5 counties. And they have, I believe, 72, 3, 4 counties, something like that. So, anyway, I just wanted to put everybody's fears to rest on this. Now, on a more lighter note, there was an old myth about Hercules and this creature called the Nemean lion. Now, I know this is a shift, but at night, every night, 7 nights a week, I stream on Twitch, and currently we're playing a game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And it's where you are going throughout the Greek world, the ancient Greek world, and doing different missions and defeating different enemies. Now, the myth says that this lion was far larger than any other lion that had ever been seen, and its fur was impervious to weapons. It was supposed to have been the child of 2 gods, and it was supposed to be undefeatable. Well, of course, Hercules, more commonly known as Hercules, defeated the Nemean lion. Now, there might be a little bit of truth in the story, because in that region, long ago, science says died out long ago, but what do we know from recent stories? That's not really the case. That some animals have been found, in places where they shouldn't have been geologically. Panthera fossilis, or more commonly known, I believe, as the cave lion, could have fit this description, because this is a breakdown. Here's a man. Here's Panthera fossilis, Panthera leo, and then Panthera leo spelaea. So this was a much bigger lion than even modern-day full-grown male African lions. This thing got up to 880 pounds. And if it was a cave lion, maybe it had developed a different adaptation. There could have been some truth to the story. So the reason I bring all that up is that in the game, you actually get to fight the Nemean lion. And it has been the source of a great many, what they call in the gaming world, rage quits. Because this fight is so unfair and unbelievably hard. I tried for 2 hours using classical techniques and didn't even get close. This thing can kill you if it hits you once, and you've got to hit this thing like 70 or 80 times, no lie, to kill it. But there is a cheat. And I read a very obscure forum about how to do this. And we were actually able to make the cheat work. It's not really a cheat, it's just kind of a loophole in the game. And I wanted to share that with you guys because it was such a rare thing to have achieved. In fact, they give away little trophies and medals. It's one of the extremely rare medals they give away, that you can beat the Nemean lion on hard level, which is what we've been playing, to make the game kind of a challenge. So anyway, I'm going to play through last night. I recorded this. It's only about 4 minutes. But the idea is this. The fight occurs in a pit with rock walls all around. It's basically a giant sinkhole. If you leave the sinkhole at any time, the lion gets all of its health back. Meaning you have to go in and you have to defeat it one try. Meaning fight, 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 fight. No retreating, no hiding, no jumping up and shooting with arrows like you're going to see me do here. These are smaller lions that are in the pit with it. Now, these you can defeat. And you're supposed to, before you jump down there so that they don't help kill it. Well, down here in the lower right, do you see the two red helmets? I had actually done some things in the game that got me the attention of mercenaries or bounty hunters. So I have two bounty hunters, as you can see, there's two red helmets, attempting to track me through this world and kill me when they find me. Well, if you can drag these bounty hunters, who are also very, very overpowered, into this pit with you, they will actually, because they're defaulted to, attack the Nemean lion themselves. Because they always will attack the most powerful thing in the region. Usually it's you, given that all the other NPCs are so low level. So here's one of them right here, trying to sneak up and kill me. So I thought, well, now what do? I've only killed one of the lions down there, and there's only one bounty hunter. And we had tried this before, and the lion killed the one bounty hunter and then came and killed me. But lo and behold, here comes the second bounty hunter. So we're like, all right, here we go. We got two high-level bounty hunters. We jump down in here, and we go after one of the lions, initially the lower-level lions, not the Nemean lion. But, as you can see, the bounty hunters, at least one of them now, has his hands full with the main character here, this big gray lion, the Nemean lion. So I'm trying to get out of harm's way, basically. But one of the bounty hunters still continues to chase me. Now, you would think, well, why aren't you fighting him? It's like, well, I don't want to harm him. I want him to have the most health possible, so that when he has to go fight the Nemean lion, he, can do as much damage as he can. So I just continue to run. Now, this really isn't how you're supposed to beat the Nemean lion, but it works. As you can see, the fight still goes on in the background with the other bounty hunter. And I'm trying to drag the other one over there. And just basically run for my life and stay alive. Now, as you can see, I got far enough away for a minute so that the other bounty hunter was going to go that way, but then I got too close and they saw me. So we tried this again, and as you can see, the health line on the Nemean lion here is, they've already gotten it down by half. Now they switch. You see there where it says leaving fight area? I almost messed up. If I had stayed where I was, the Nemean lion would have got all of its health back. So here comes okay, now this was the original bounty hunter that came up and tried to kill me. This one's health is really low because it had been fighting this thing. Well, now they've tag teamed off. As you can see, almost dead. So as much as I want to kill this thing, I can't. Because I have to make sure that I get as much damage done on that lion as is possible. So finally coming up, I'm able to get it so that both of them are fighting that lion, and they've lost sight of me. See how I'm behind a hill? They've lost track of me, and I'm hiding behind these bushes. And that's kind of the thing. Once you lose line of sight with them, they will just go search for whatever um, the toughest thing is. And that's what happens here. So now they both go after it, and I finally have a place where I can stop for a minute in this little grassy plain. And they're doing a really good job on this lion. I just have to stay at a distance now and just watch the fight and just get close enough and be ready if the Nemean lion does live that I'm going to have to fight it. Now, that girl that was just chasing me, she just died. So now it's just the guy, the other mercenary. And these mercenaries do a ton of damage. They really do. They're almost as hard to kill as this character is. So I'm getting ready here. I'm getting my explosive arrows ready because it looks like this guy's about to die. And sure enough, a couple more hits and he's going to be done. Okay, so then that mercenary died, but now look at the lion. The lion sees me, but it's got like just one tiny little line of health left. And with, I think, 3, maybe 4 arrows, I've just beaten one of the toughest characters in the game by, well, I guess you could call it cheating, but for me, it was incredibly exciting to be able to affect this strategy because dragging those bounty hunters down there and staying away from them was not an easy thing. As you can see, I got some really great gear for it, so I just wanted to share this with you. I know gaming is not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak, but it was a lot of fun last night, and we did achieve something that was fairly rare. But anyway, of course, still pray for the people in Louisiana, real life stuff. Jennifer, Veterans for Truth, her family, her kids. It's going to be a rough one, having to deal with 2 of these in a row. Laura and then now Delta. But God bless all of you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.